Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Thank you all so much for coming this bright Sunday afternoon to the ISKCON Portland Temple. I'm good, Prabhu. I'll manage it. It's good. Thank you so much.
I have to set it a bit lower, so you have to move it a bit higher.
This is good? Okay. Yeah. All right. So, have you seen Krishna? Do you want to see Krishna? Yes. So some people, they can't see Krishna anywhere. And one such person we know is Hiranyakashipu. At least we can see Krishna in our beautiful deities here, Sri Srinathai Sachinandan. On the other hand, his son was the opposite, Prahlad. He could see Krishna literally everywhere, right? One day when Hiranyakashipu asked him, Vishnu, 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 where is your Vishnu? Is he in this pillar? We don't have a pillar in this temple. It's all very nicely architected. And then what did he say? Yes, he's in that pillar. And then what happened? Satyam vidatum nijabhritya vashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshva akhileshu chatmanam adrishyata atyadbhuta rupamudvahan Stambe sabayam na brigam na manusham. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.8.17 it says, to prove the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial. In other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere in each and every nook, even within a pillar in an assembly hall. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, he exhibited a wonderful and never seen before form of the Lord, neither that of a man nor that of a lion. And thus the Lord appeared in this wonderful form. So we can see Krishna, but we need to qualify ourselves. So before we begin, let's just remember Krishna, who is eternally residing in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya. Haribol. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yudapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sav Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitan Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopeshat Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Every single day in the Vaishnava calendar is a festival, right? Our upcoming festival is none other than Nrsimha Chaturdashi. Yes, he's the original or the chief child protection officer. He started it. Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami actually says that there are 3 forms of the Lord that's incredibly important for the Vaishnavas. So first is Krishna. We're part of the Krishna consciousness. Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya Sampradaya. Krishna. Who are the other 2? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what I thought too, but no. 2 other? Narasimha Dev, yes, good guess. One more. Lord Ram, Jai, Jai. So there are so many avatars of the Lord, starting with the Dashavatar and so forth. But why these 3 forms? And even why not Lord Chaitanya? We can maybe talk about that before we end the class. Even I had the same doubt, why not Chaitanya? But it's Rupa Goswami who is saying, why these 3 forms of the Lord? He gives the answer himself. Rupa Goswami says that it's in these 3 forms of the Lord that they exhibit the highest form of Bhakta Vatsalya. Love for devotees, protection of devotees. And we Gaudiyas, we don't worship Lord from afar, right? In some religions they say that God is very distant. You just don't make sure you're following your path, don't go out of the line. If you stick to your path, he sticks to his path, right? Everybody is happy. That's sort of the mood that they have. But in our case, Krishna is very active and he's extremely affectionate. And one such form that he took for all of us is Lord Nrsimhadev. He's very, very involved in his devotees' lives. Nrsimhadev is actually the epitome of Vatsalya, the Vatsalya Bhav. Technically, Vatsalya Bhav is used, that term is used when we talk about a devotee's relationship or love for Bhagwan. Who are the examples of Vatsalya Bhav? Like Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba and so forth. But what if the roles are reversed and Bhagwan is the one who's showing that affection for his devotees? It's called Palya Bhav. So Lord Nrsimhadev is exhibiting Palya Bhav. If I were to ask you, what do you think are the 3 most powerful emotions in this world? Any guesses? Anger, excellent. Then? Happiness, okay. Fear, amazing. We have one more. Greed. Greed's also there. Greed is it an emotion? One more. Love, yes. It's so weird that we started with anger and then we went to the highest. Love, okay. Yes, love. And why do you think these are considered the 3 most important emotions? The thing is, if we have these 3 emotions, our consciousness is overtaken by them. Yeah. What do we say? Love, blind. People fall in love. When they're in love, they forget. It's completely captured their consciousness. Another one, fear, right? Like take the example of our dear Kamsa. He's like the personification of being fearful. He would see a bowl of fruits, he was fearful of Krishna. He would see a bowl of soup, he could see Krishna in there. He would look at the sky or feel the breeze, he could feel Krishna's presence in the form of his end, right? Fear personification. That's how he saw our beautiful baby Krishna. And that made him delusion. But before that, anger. Anger is another one. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita 2.63? Krodhat bhavati samoha, samohat smriti vibhrama, smriti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. From anger comes complete delusion. Delusion, bewilderment, memory. And when memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And if intelligence is lost, you fall down to this material pool. So these are the 3 most important or most powerful emotions in the world. Love, anger, and fear. And these 3 emotions, to an incredible degree, are exhibited in this wonderful pastime of the Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto. And that is the pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev and his beloved Prahalad. Who exhibits love? Prahlad, right? And in fact, his love has no compromise to anything in this world. Usually we say, oh, we love someone so much, but there is always a price for that love. At a certain point, that love stops. You feel that even with friends, right? Like, oh, you be very careful in sharing all your secrets. We don't know when that love will go away. But Prahlad, there was no stopping that immense love. He was in so many situations. I will talk about this, I'm not going to bring it up. He was in so many situations, but he never gave up that love for the Lord. Who's exhibiting fear? Hiranyakashipu. He had incredible amount of fear. He was fearful of dying. He was fearful when Lord Nrsimhadev appeared. And finally, who exhibited anger? Nrsimhadev. The amount of anger that Nrsimhadev exhibited in this pastime was out of the charts. In fact, when Lord Brahma told Mother Lakshmi, my dear Devi, that's your husband there, please go cool him. We don't know what's going to happen. Like with this incredible amount of anger he has, he'll destroy the 3 worlds. She was astounded. She's like, what? You're saying that calm person who very coolly lies on the top of Anantashesh, who I massage, whose lotus feet I massage, who looks at me with a sidelong glance, he is that person there? That's not my husband. I don't know who that is, but that's not my husband. Even she couldn't accept, because that's the amount of anger he had. In fact, like when this picture was brought to Srila Prabhupada, when devotees asked him for his approval, Srila Prabhupada said, very good. And then he said what?
More blood.
More blood. More blood. That's what he said. Because Nrsimhadev in this picture is Ugra Narasimha. Right? In fact, this painting is there. I haven't been to the Bhaktivedanta Manor, but there's so many other pastimes. So when you bring a new person, you show like, this is a picture of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is Lord Ram, and then they see this picture, they're stunned. and then they say, and this is God. This is God. I thought this was the demon. So people can't understand. Like once apparently a new person came, new devotee came, and then he looked at he's like, what's happening here? And the devotee said, this is what happened to the last person who didn't give a donation. He was like, oh, okay. So some people cannot understand Nrsimhadev. Like, how can he be so angry? Anger is generally associated with materialistic people, right? When you think of anger, you see like an angry manager or angry person at a grocery store or whatever. We never see like spiritual anger. There is spiritual anger. There are in fact 2 types of angers, and I can share how we can distinguish between what spiritual anger is and what material anger is. And it's not a huge thing. Most of us might always have just material anger, but in case you have spiritual anger, you can detect. So the first difference is spiritual anger is completely selfless. It's devoid of any ego. So when Nrsimhadev became angry, did he do it for himself? No. He did it to protect his devotee. There was no personal pride involved. He appeared in that ferocious form simply as a selfless service for his devotee. So if you get angry like that, then consider that as spiritual anger. Another way to detect if anger is spiritual or not is when someone gets angry and they don't lose their intelligence and their discrimination ability. So what happens when most of us become angry? We have no sense of the world anymore. They say anger is 1 letter short of the word danger. Right? People become dangerous when they become angry. Why? Because they lose all sense of intelligence. So when Nrsimhadev came, he had perfect sense of discrimination, and he had perfect balance. Do you know it's said that Lord Nrsimhadev's 2 eyes, one eye had so much wrath and anger towards Hiranyakashipu, but the other eye had so much love for his devotee Prahlad. Otherwise, how could a small 5-year-old boy go to such a ferocious form? Because to him, Nrsimhadev was looking with that love. And the final way to distinguish if anger is spiritual or material is spiritual anger leaves room for forgiveness. Sometimes when you're angry and someone says sorry, no, I don't want to hear you're sorry. That's what we say, right? That's material anger. Spiritual anger leaves room for someone to repent for themselves. We see that when Prahlad went and said, my dear Lord, please forgive my father. Lord Nrsimhadev was immediately favorable. So this spiritual anger is different from material anger, and Nrsimhadev hence proved has exhibited spiritual anger. Spiritual anger actually elevates us. It elevates and it inspires us. This pastime of the Lord, this angry pastime of the Lord happened eons and eons ago in the Satya Yuga. But even today in Kali Yuga, we are talking, relishing, learning lessons from this beautiful pastime. So spiritual anger helps us to maintain that higher principle, while material anger drags our consciousness to lower modes. Do you think anger exists in the spiritual world? Yes? Example? Srimati Radharani Jai, you said it all. I'm not going to ask further. So, this is a very important line. Lord Nrsimhadev's anger removes all fear. And that's our topic for today's discussion. Nrsimhadev is the ultimate protector from fear. The Lord's fearful form makes the devotee completely fearless. I'll repeat that. The Lord's fearful form makes the devotee completely fearless. And this is something we can deeply think about, because every single one of us, if we know or not, in this world are affected by fear. Could you all share some of your fear? Let's get intimate here. Any fear you have, or people in general have? Fear of losing your loved ones, absolutely. What else? Fear of failure, yes. Once a rich industrialist, he went to Srila Prabhupada and he said, my dear Srila Prabhupada, I'm extremely rich. Who boasts, right? Anyway, I have so many factories, I have so many people under me, I have so much money, but I'm full of anxiety and I'm so fearful, I don't know what to do. And Srila Prabhupada says, well, it's because you have limitless desires. If you have limitless desires, your fear will be limitless. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada says, don't worry, you do one thing. You give us all that money. You give us your factory. You give us all that anxiety. You will be happy. We'll be happy. Krishna will be very happy. And then he said, no, let me think about it. Let me get back to you. It's like, no, we want all your anxiety to go. And he said, Prabhu, take his contact. No, I'll get back to you. And he was out of there. So what are we doing here? We're hanging on to those things that are giving us so much fear and anxiety. Just take money, for example, right? We have so much anxiety on how to make it. Finally, we make it. Then we have anxiety on how to retain it, multiply it, grow it. And then what's our next fear? Fear of losing it. So this material world has so many fears. Question is, how can we live a life that's free from fear? That's in fact what everyone's trying to do. But they don't know the means of how to get away from fear. There are two ways actually people can get away from fear. One is the materialistic way, and that's exhibited by our friend Hiranyakashipu. And the other is the spiritual way, which is symbolized by none other than Prahlad Maharaj. What did Hiranyakashipu do to become free from fear? Shri Shri Nitai Sachinandan Dev Bhagwan Ki Jai. He did tapasya. He asked for boons, right? That was his insurance. He asked for these boons from Brahma, and he thought that he could make all these arrangements in order to escape from the fear of dying. What all did he ask? He asked Brahma that he won't be killed in day or night. And then he won't be killed inside or outside. He won't be killed by man or human beings, okay, animal or any other beings. And then he asked for not to be killed in the sky or air or land, yes. And then he asked for not to be killed by any astra, shastra, any weapons, yeah. And then he asked not to be killed by any asura or Devata. So he made all these arrangements to free himself from fear. In fact, to a degree, isn't that what we all do? We install the ring at home, right? We keep an alarm at home. The ring is a brand of an alarm in houses. And then we make sure we have enough money in the bank, not for us, not for our children, for our children's children even. That's our mood. And then we take insurance policies, so forth. And this is actually Hiranyakashipu mentality. Not that I'm saying we shouldn't do any of this. We should. But we should understand that in spite doing all this, we won't truly be free from any fear. Because you can do all these things and still life happens. And when life happens, problems come by all these material means. Like people try to solve all these through these practical arrangements, through physical arrangements, and even sometimes through like a mental adjustment. They say that, can you do anything about this thing that you're anxious about? No. Then why are you anxious? Don't worry. Can you do something about the thing you're anxious about? Yes. Great. Then why are you anxious? Don't worry. Right? All this is good in paper. But does it truly free us from that fear? No. Just like Hiranyakashipu, he was never freed from that fear, even though he made so many arrangements. So therefore, we have to look at this person who actually became free from fear. Who is that person? Prahlad, yes. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it explains where fear comes from. So in the 11th canto, chapter 2, text 37. Bhayam dvitiyapi niveshata syat ishadapetasya viparyayo smritim tanmayaya tu buddha abhajetam bhaktaiva kesham gurudevatatma. Fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of absorption in the external illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position, and that is servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by the potency of illusion called as Maya. Very good. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotion service of the Lord, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and his very life and soul. So this is where fear comes from. The first sign of fear coming is when we turn away from Krishna. When we turn away from Krishna and look at the other direction, immediately our life is going in that wrong direction. Because as soon as you look away from Krishna, the next thing that happens to you is you see a reality that's separate from Krishna. And in that reality, what happens? Maya comes. Illusion comes, it covers you. And then when you're covered by illusion, fear just keeps coming again and again and again. And therefore people in this world are so fearful. We are so fearful. So the root cause of this fear is because Krishna is not in their life. Because they cannot see Krishna and they cannot perceive Krishna's presence. So when one makes that connection with Krishna, and someone has that feeling of Krishna's presence in their life, then what happens? There is no fear anymore. One day a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, what do you feel when you chant? What do you think he said? I feel no fear. He could have said anything. I feel bhava, I feel anything. What did he say? I feel no fear. Why did he say that? Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasavigraha Purna Shuddho Nityamukto Abhinnat Nama Namino. There's no difference between Krishna and his holy name. So he could feel the presence of Krishna. And when there is presence of Krishna, who is not there? Maya is not there. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 31, it says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar Yahan Krishna Tahanahi Maya Radhikara. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy is immediately vanished. So Krishna is the sun and Maya is the darkness, and wherever Krishna is there, Maya has no opportunity to cast her illusion, to cast that fear. So in this way, Prahlad Maharaj is showing us that if we can learn to see Krishna everywhere, then we'll have no fear. So to that extent we can see Krishna, to that extent that we can perceive Krishna, to that extent fear, who's constantly running behind us, can't catch us. In the Sri Vaishnava commentaries of this pastime, they explain Prahlad's consciousness when Hiranyakashipu and all his servants was trying to kill Prahlad, right? Like, how come he didn't have any fear? He's a 5-year-old child. How come he was not afflicted by this fear? You know, how deep was that consciousness of his? So they wanted to understand from his eyes. They said, Prahlad, we threw you in a pit of snakes. Prahlad, weren't you fearful that they would bite you? And Prahlad said, look, Vishnu, he's my father. And he, where does he lie? He lies on the Anantashesh. And who is Anantashesh? He is the Lord of all these snakes. So you think the servant of my father, who is the Lord of these snakes, they'll bite me? No. They are the servant of my father. So why should I be fearful? There was once this girl, she was on a flight next to a passenger, and suddenly there was like this huge, incredible turbulence, and everyone is like, messaging. No flight mode, they can't message, right? Anyway, they were telling their last prayers, and they were like, just praying and sitting. And they looked at this child, and he's just playing with his Pokemon card or whatever, like doing whatever. And then it got stabilized. And then they thought, let me understand this child's perspective. Like, I was so fearful, I have to use the washroom now. Like, why is this child not fearful? And they asked, weren't you scared when the flight was moving? And the child said, no. I was like, why not? My papa is the pilot. And that's Prahlad Maharaj's mood. So then they asked Prahlad, when you were fed poison, weren't you fearful of that? And then Prahlad was like, poison? What do you mean? Eons ago, when the Manthara mountain was used to churn the ocean of milk, you know what appeared or who appeared? So many people appeared, so many items appeared. But Lakshmi Devi appeared. Along with that, the Kalakuta poison appeared. So what does that make them? Brother and sister. Lakshmi Devi is who? My mother. So do you think my maternal uncle will cause my end? No. So I was not fearful of poison. That consciousness, look at that dedication, look at that faith this child has in the Lord. Then they asked Prahlad, even then you were not fearful. Then he said, fire? Yagya Vaya Vishnu. They say that the fire in the Yagya, that's Vishnu. I should be scared of being put in my father's mouth? No, I was not fearful. That's the faith he has. Then they asked him, you were thrown from a cliff. Even then you were not fearful? And then he said, no. So when Bhumi Devi, my uncle, who saved her? Varahadev. Is Varahadev Vishnu. So and then when he saved her, they became husband and wife. So who is Bhumi Devi? My mother. So should I be scared of falling into her lap? That's the mood of Prahlad. It's amazing. So Krishna says that one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me. In Bhagavad Gita 6.30 he says, Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyanmi sacha meham na pranashyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am not lost to them and they are not lost to me. So how many of us are truly seeing Krishna everywhere? Can you see Krishna? And that's how we started the class today, by asking that question. Can you see Krishna? Srila Prabhupada was asked that question. Like this, there was a class and a person just stood up in the middle of the class and said, "Can you see Krishna?" He asked Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, "Yes." Everyone was silent. And then he said, "Do you see Krishna?" And then he said, "No." Then he said, "But do you want to see Krishna?" And that person thought hard and long and he said, "No." And Srila Prabhupada said that, and therefore you cannot see Krishna. So the reason that we can't see Krishna is because our desire isn't strong enough. We don't really want to see Krishna. What does George Harrison say? "I really want to see you, Lord. I really want to see you, Lord. I really want to know you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord. My Lord. My sweet Lord." He's saying, "Krishna, I really want to see you. I want to develop that burning desire within my heart to see you." Until we develop that burning desire to see Krishna, Krishna is not going to force himself upon us. But that moment we please Krishna and we say, "Krishna, please come," he will run and come. Krishna won't force himself, because even in the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna in 18.63, "Itiktik jnanam akhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimishyai tad asheshena yate chasi tatakuru." Thus I've explained to you all the knowledge, still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, and then you do as you wish to do. One person was asked, what's the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita? And then he said, "It's very clear. Krishna said, do what you want to do." Not exactly, right? But Krishna gives us that free will, and he gives us that supreme instruction. He says, what does he say? "Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva pabebhyo moksha ekshami mashucha." And 18.66 he says, "Abandon all varieties of religion and simply surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions." And then what does he say? "Do not fear." So Prahlad was willing to take that risk. So if we want to see Krishna, we have to be willing to take that risk for Krishna. He never, and this is what I was telling earlier, he was at gunpoint and he never chose to say anything else apart from Krishna, 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 or in his case, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. So we have to ask ourselves, how much do we really want Krishna? If we want Krishna, at the same time, we cannot want to have this material world also. It just doesn't work like that. We can't have best of both worlds. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita 2.44, what does he say? "Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya aprihata chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadau na vidiyate." And the minds of those who are attached to sense enjoyment, material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So we can't hold on to the things of this world and at the same time have the desire to see Krishna, or at the same time expect to see Krishna. We have to be willing to let go of this material world, right? They say that about anger also. Anger is like don't hold grudges or ill feeling towards others. It's like a coal. You hold on to it, but what happens? You're burning. You're getting more hurt than that person. Same way, this material world is horrible. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. So Prahlad took even more risk, though Hiranyakashipu kept challenging him. He challenged him 3 times. He asked him, like, what's the best thing you've learned? What's the best thing you've learned? What's the best thing you've learned? He could have said, Papa, I learned that you are the best. Because that's what the teachers were teaching him. Shanda and Amarka, they were telling that Hiranyakashipu, Om Hiranyakashipaya Namaha. Hiranyakashipu was everything. But he never did that. He stuck to the truth. Just imagine, I always think, like, what will I do if I was in that situation? Thankfully, Krishna's not put me in that situation. But it's not easy. He knew Hiranyakashipu would become angrier and angrier, but he never compromised. He took that risk. He said, yes, my Lord is everywhere. He's even in that pillar. We can say that this happened in Satya Yuga. People were more strong, more potent, had longer life. But we know of people who did that same thing just maybe 50, 100 years ago. He's here, sitting right at the back. Srila Prabhupada. He took that risk. Once devotees and Srila Prabhupada was walking past the Victoria Memorial in Calcutta, and Prabhupada said that, when I was a child, I ran like all the way up there and came back. And devotees like, whoa, Prabhupada, you must have been like very brave as a child. And Srila Prabhupada said, I was brave then, I am brave now. Otherwise, how could I have come to your country with nothing? So are we brave and are we ready to take that risk? Because those who take the risk for Krishna, they are the actual ones who see Krishna the closest. Those who make an endeavor to sacrifice for Krishna, they see Krishna. So we must all ask ourselves, what am I doing with my life to show Krishna that I really want to see him? And according to that, we will get a certain amount of darshan and we can actually experience Krishna. We know of not just Srila Prabhupada, of his wonderful disciples as well, who have felt Krishna, who have seen Krishna, because they took that risk. Again, when we meditate on this pastime of Lord Narasimhadev, there are so many lessons to be learned. But the ultimate lesson is that if we want to become free from fear, then the only way we can do this is to re-enter our relationship with Krishna. Feel the presence of Krishna in our life. Easier said than done. But the Bhagavatam is a place you can truly experience and you can taste this. The anger, the love, the fear. In fact, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he talks about this story. Apparently in a village in Orissa, simple people in the village long back ago, they don't have like theater and Bollywood movies or anything like that. So how they engaged themselves and how they kept up with their sadhana and had that sadhu sangha was by throwing plays on different pastimes of the Lord. And there was this one actor, they were actually celebrating Narasimha Chaturdashi, which we're going to celebrate in a week now and have wonderful pastimes depicted in front of us. So they were doing the same. They were having the pastime of Lord Narasimhadev. And the devotee who played the part of Lord Narasimhadev, he was so into the character. He was like one of these method actors. He was so into the character. He started scratching the person and like tearing the person who became Hiranyakashipu. And he was like literally screaming like, get this guy out of me. Mid scene and rescue the poor Hiranyakashipu. So he was so into it. So come Diwali, they were thinking, let's act Lord Ram's pastime, Ramayan, Lord Ram returning back returning back to Ayodhya, and then the cast director, they're like deciding who, and they're like, this person, they're like, what role to give this person? We should be very careful. And then they decided, you know what? Let's make this person Dasharath. Simple character, what's going to happen, Dasharath. So this devotee, he became Dasharath. And the scene, everything was going very nicely. And the scene where Lord Ram leaves Ayodhya, and during that scene, this person, who was acting as Dasharath Maharaj, he was in so much pain. His heart was aching that his son, his life was going in so much pain. That person actually died on the stage. That's how much he dwelled into that character. It's amazing. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is full of such taste. It's called Rasamalayam, right? And therefore, if we want, we can truly enter into these pastimes and never come out. They're very, very powerful. If we want to develop our faith, frankly, there are two ways. One is borrowed faith, and that's faith that we develop through hearing, develop through reading our philosophy and so forth. And the other one is real faith, and that comes from realization of Krishna. Once a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, how were you able to go all across the world and challenge all these people, these scientists, these huge heads of state, that on the topic of whether God exists or not? How are you so bold to challenge them, to challenge anyone who questioned God's existence? And Srila Prabhupada said, he's like, how could I tolerate hearing them lie that Krishna doesn't exist when I see Krishna every single day? That's what Prabhupada said. He saw Krishna every day. So when people said God doesn't exist, he's like, what? What do you mean? Krishna is right there. That's what his mood was. And that's where he had that faith and that ability to counter all those arguments. He had that confidence to do and achieve anything. So a strong conviction will blossom in our hearts. Truly see Krishna everywhere. Knowledge. And this knowledge we must grasp and we must have to live it. Srila Prabhupada has given us so many wonderful books. We have to take advantage of reading them. They are our greatest treasure. Srimad Bhagavatam should be our best friend. These books can actually give us that vision to see Krishna in every moment of our life. And if we do that, we'll have no fear. We'll have no fear. So that was what I wanted to share this wonderful Sunday afternoon. We wanted to meditate on the pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev. Let's recite this sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. If anyone's there? No, it's okay. You can hear and recite, that way you can learn. It's Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 8. If you can, repeat. I will recite this once and then, or repeat after me. So we can all recite this together. We'll recite it a couple of times. We'll recite the meaning. In fact, let's read the meaning and then go ahead. It says, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish my demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we can become fearless and in the struggle for existence in this material world. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Namaste Jaste Jase. Namaste Jaste Jase. आविर्भाव आविर्भाव वज्रनख वज्रनख वज्रदंष्ट्र कर्माशयान् रन्दय रन्दय तमो ग्रश ग्रश ॐ स्वाहा अभयम् अभयम् आत्मनि भूयिष्ठ ॐ श्रौं. Let's try to recite this together with complete faith, complete attention, really seeking, really crying out, because He is listening. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Namaste Jaste Jase Avirbhava Vajranakha Vajradamshtra Karmashayan Randaya Randaya Tamo Grasha Grasha Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuishta Om Shram. Shri Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki Bhakt Shiromani Prahalad Maharaj ki Srila Prabhupada ki Gurudev ki Hare Krishna. If there are any thoughts, any comments, any reflections, any questions, anything you'd like to share, we have a minute or so before the curtains open. Yes, Prabhuji. Do you want a mic?
Hare Krishna. One second. Chai. So I was reminded about this pastime that I heard of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, in which he was giving a lecture on attachment. I don't remember the whole lecture in that self, but I remember that to demonstrate the point that he was making, the following day, he went to a tree and he was hugging this tree, saying, "Let me go, let me go." And that's what I was thinking when you were talking about, like, letting go of the material attachments and how much anger can really affect us. So, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Shri Shri Nitai Sachinande Bhagwan ki Jai. We'll have Aarti now. Thank you all so much. Feel free to keep your mats away. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Vani Pracharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Sachinandana Gaura Hari Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari सचिनंदन गौरा हरि जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय नर हरि लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय नर हरि जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा माधव श्री राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम बलराम जय वृंदावन जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय शिला प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय शिला प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 शिला गुरुदेव गीता हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON and BBD founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Shrotra Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवस आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय. श्री जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र धाम की जय. गंगामयी यमुनामयी की जय. भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय. श्याम भक्त Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the Samadhi Sri Krishna. All glories to the Samadhi Sri Krishna. All glories to the Samadhi Sri Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Kashi Purvasha Nasinga Parato Nasinga Yato Yato Yamita To Nasinga Nasinga, reta nasinga. Narasimha padam sharanam prapate. Tabakara kapapapare nakam. Aputa Singam Delita Heranya Kashipur Tana Bringa Kesha Kareta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nasinga Dev, Jaya Nasinga Dev. Jaya Prahala, Jaya Palamara, Jaya Prahala, Jaya Palamara. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Netai Gora Hari Bol.
सर्व विघ्न विनायक लक्ष्मी सिंह भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। शिला गुरुदेव की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Thank you everyone for joining ISKCON's Portland Sunday Feast. Jai Sachinandan Prabhu is out of state, so I was asked to
take care of the ceremonies. Thank you. We have a couple of announcements and upcoming events. So usually we start with first-time visitors, but before that, there is one important announcement we want to make it. It's related to what Srila Prabhupada has emphasized about children. These children are given to us by Krishna. I'm going to read Srila Prabhupada's quote about what Srila Prabhupada mentioned about kids or children. These children are given to us by Krishna. They are Vaishnavas, and we must be clear to protect them. These are not ordinary children. They are Vaikuntha children. And we are fortunate we can give them chance to advance further in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada's letter to Arundhati Mataji, Amsterdam, 30th July 1972. So a couple of us, yesterday we have attended, like last 2 weeks we attended child protection volunteer training, and few others attended in a couple of years back. Not only teachers, Sunday school teachers, management, residents, pujaris, it's mandatory to attend child protection. What is the importance? It is 3 S's. As part of child protection, the safety, security, and supervision are the 3 primary duties as we all adults. It's not only about management, it's not only about Sunday school teachers, it's our equal responsibility to, as Srila Prabhupada's mentioned, our children are gift to us, and our duty is to protect them. And I believe every child deserves 3 things. One is care, concern, and compassion. So we request you, make sure that only during the Sunday school timings, Sunday school teachers will be taking care of the kids. Otherwise, there are boards displayed at every single corner. You might have seen all children up 12 and below should be accompanied by an adult all times. So we do have 2 officers, Madhura Mataji and Radhakant Prabhu, leading the child protection. So I would pass on the mic to Madhura Mataji to speak about what is child protection and what is our duties about child protection. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Madhura Devi Dasi, and I'm one of the child protection officer in ISKCON Hillsborough. All of our teachers are certified. 3 out of 2 2 pujaris are certified, and all the managements are also. We are trying to make our temple, we want to get the certificate for our temple, the safest temple for the kids, so we are working towards that. And taking a step ahead, we talked about all this in the Sunday school. I teach the Madhava, which is 4 to 6 years old, so we talked about their safety. There were 3 categories that we divided the child abuse on: good touch, bad touch, bullying, and then cyber bully, and then abuse. Like most of the bigger kids are on social media now, so we wanted to bring that also into attention. So bringing into that, parents also play a major role in the safety of the child. Try to become the best friend of your child so that they don't hide anything from you, whether it's in school or in the temple. Make sure they're always safe. As long as they are with us in the Sunday school, it is our responsibility. We'll take care of your kids, but as soon as we bring them here in the temple, you should be present to take the charge of your kid from there. We wouldn't be taking care from then on. They should not be running in the parking area. They should not be alone in the play area. One of you should always be there, and if at all you're not able to make it on time in the temple, and we bring the kid back from the Sunday school, make sure you have a designated adult where your kid can, we can hand you over your kid to them. So these are the things that we spoke about. You can talk about them to your kids and ask them questions. Try to make sure that they understand, because some of them were very small. We tried our best to make them understand, but if you talk to them, they'll understand it more in your language. So every corner, as Prabhuji said, they shouldn't be walking alone if they are under the age of 12. Every month we'll make this announcement, because from next month, June 15th, our schools will be closed. This school, we'll not have Sunday school for 3 months because we follow Beaverton School District, and we'll have lot of festivals coming up. So lot of festival means lot of crowd, lot of new people, so make sure that you are always with your kid, always with your kid. So this is all those points that we discussed. We'll try to make it monthly, announcement so that the kids also remember that. If anything you want to, if you have any concern, question about the child safety, or you want to add, or you want to be part of that, let us know. Any of us will be more than happy to include you in our group. So thank you so much. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. As Mataji mentioned, it is our collective duty to ensure we create that safe, loving, and uplifting environment for all the kids. Thank you. Moving forward, do we have any first-time visitors to ISKCON Portland Temple? Can we see some hands? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, welcome. What's your name? What brought you here?
My name is Anchit Rampal. So I've been coming to States for around 2 years, but this is the time that now I'm going for it. So I'm working with a company called Motel 6. So I look into the technology and just shifted here and just starting my new life.
Thank you, Prabhu. Welcome to Portland. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Your name? Akila. What made you brought here? Thank you, Mataji. Please do come regularly. And we meet every Sunday here for Sunday Feast, and temple is open all weekdays. You can come whenever possible. Let's welcome both Mataji and Prabhuji with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you. Now, the biggest piece, birthdays and anniversaries. Do we have any birthdays and anniversaries in the past 1 week or upcoming week? Hare Krishna, Mataji. 20? Friday. Coming Friday? Last Friday. What is it? Arya. How old is Mataji? 9th. Prabhu is here? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Advance happy birthday. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes? Which brother, Mataji? Rahul. Rahul Prabhu's birthday is on? And 13th. Okay. Okay. Next Tuesday. Okay. Arjun, happy birthday. Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pramanya Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
My wife's birthday will be
Next week. Ishani Mataji is here. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Advance happy birthday. Let's wish all these wonderful devotees a loud Hari Bol. Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. No anniversaries? Hare Krishna. Okay. Next upcoming festival, we do have Narasimha Chaturdasi. We do have wonderful sponsors who are sponsored for Boga, Flowers, Abhishek. We have an anonymous sponsor. We have Subhendu Saha Prabhu and Ritu Das Mataji sponsoring for Boga. Raghu Prabhu and Harika Mataji sponsoring for Boga. Sridhar Prabhu and Shailaja Mataji, Ashutosh Prabhu and Shilpa Mataji are sponsoring for Flowers. Pattabhiram Prabhu, Amita Mataji and Kartika, Satish Kankala Prabhu, Rajini Mataji, Shalu Mataji and Sunil Prabhu are sponsoring for Abhishek. If there are any more devotees who have sponsored and if you don't see your name, please, you can let me know or text me. I can add your name. And with respect to the program for the Narasimha Chaturdasi, I'm going to talk. That the slide is going to come up. Does anyone have any questions? Narasimha Chaturdasi is on Saturday, May 10th. The program starts from 5:30 p.m. The schedule I'm going to show on the screen in a little while. Hare Krishna. With respect to Sunday Feast sponsors for today, Ajay Prabhu and Shri Mataji are sponsoring on behalf of Ran Vijay's first birthday. Is he here? Are they here? Okay. And Sanat Prabhu and Vaishali Mataji and Kian are sponsoring for Flowers. Thank you very much for sponsoring Sunday Feast and the beautiful flowers you can see on the Shri Nitai Sachinandan and the Guru Parampara. Thank you, loud Hari Bol, for these wonderful sponsors. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. And almost next 3 Sundays are filled, and we do have an open slot for if you wish to sponsor for Sunday Boga for June 1st, there is an open slot, and Flowers pretty much open for the next 4 weeks. If you wish, you can write on the the board next behind this wall, or you can just pay there and put the date on the Square app. And this is a time where most of our senior Vaishnavas visit, and our next visit is going to be with His Holiness Bhakti Ananda Tirtha Maharaj. He's coming on May 9th and he'll be till May 11th, Sunday. We do have a couple of programs scheduled with Maharaj. On May 9th, Friday evening, 6:30 p.m., Rahul Prabhu and Richa Mataji are hosting. Rahul Prabhu, can you raise your hand, please? Okay. We do have a sign-up link there, tinyurl.com/hsbatm-May 9th. If you yet to sign up for the program, please help signing up so that they can effectively plan for Prasadam. And on May 10th, the day of Narasimha Chaturdasi, we have an evening program. Usually the fast breaking is at dusk, and we have a couple of programs or events scheduled up that day. It starts with 5:30 p.m. Please make sure that you come early so that you can see the Abhishek of Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev. And 6 o'clock, we do have a lecture by Bhakti Anand Tirth Maharaj, followed by a wonderful drama. I've seen a couple of weeks, Madhavi Prabhu and team Gauranga Arts Troupe has been practicing effectively, efficiently, and like spending all their energy here to bring a wonderful drama. You don't want to release a teaser or title of that? Suspense, okay. Something related to Narasimha Dev, like let's wait for one more week and watch. Okay, my bad. Thanks for catching that, Mataji. I'll correct it. Okay, it's on Friday evening, so ignore that error. Okay. The next program is with Hari Parshad Prabhu the following week. He's coming for a week. It will be starting on May 14th. It's a Wednesday. It will go until May 20th. The email for both Bhakti Anand Tirth Maharaj and Hari Parshad Prabhu went in, and there are sign-up links for both. And for Hari Parshad Prabhu, there is one link, and you can sign up for every single program wherever you want to go. There's 7 days. You can see the various hosts as well as the timings for each of those programs. Only on Saturday and Sunday there will be 2 programs. Otherwise, all weekdays there will be 1 program. And all weekday programs will start at 6:30 in the evening. And on Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, there will be a day program or the morning program at 11:30. And there will be evening program at 5:30, I guess? 5:30, okay. All right. Any questions on this one? All right, moving on. It's been a couple of weeks we have been announcing free Bhagavad Gitas since Gita Jayanti in December. There are wonderful devotees who have sponsored a case of Bhagavad Gitas. There are still few more bounded Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have a Gita, you can take a Gita to your home. Does anyone have? Anyone doesn't have a Gita with you? All right, thank you, Prabhu. We'll pass it on one Gita to you. Okay, Arjun, can you pass it on to Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, the last. Hare Krishna. All right, we have Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Sri Prada Mataji, going to share some nectar of Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. So before I share the nectar, I just request that all of you please say a prayer to our Lord for my friend Natasha Landfair Owens. She's in the hospital. She wound up with sepsis and her foot had to be amputated. In a few days, they're going to amputate a larger part of her leg so they can fit a prosthesis more easily. So please keep her in your prayers. How many of you know who Mukunda Maharaj is? Okay, so it's my god brother that I had the privilege of having service with in New Dwarka, Los Angeles. He's very sweet devotee, and he's also an initiating guru. This pastime is actually it's kind of Janaki is speaking. This is Janaki was his wife. And it's like one of those situations where kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time sort of thing. So, Janaki is speaking. Mukunda and I were staying at a friend's cabin taking a vacation in upstate New York. One day at the cabin, we put on our swimming trunks and we were going to go take a swim down in the swimming hole that was just below the property. We went down a path, and when a bunch of big cars came peeling down the road, there were probably 10 or 12 cars, and out of them came police dressed in uniforms and plain clothes, descending on this little cabin. They were doing the biggest drug bust in the history of the Catskill Mountains, and they had this planned for months. They had infiltrated all kinds of businesses, barkeepers, everybody with some of their undercover cops. So this was the roundup from their investigation. When they came to our cabin, they found Mukunda and arrested him as the leader of the drug scene in the Catskills. Then there was a good cop, bad cop scene going on. One officer said, "You know, we've smoked a little weed. It's no big thing. You can tell us about it." Yeah, right. You know, if you have drugs here, you may as well tell us because we will find everything. They didn't find a thing, but they arrested Mukunda anyway under a different name. They didn't even have his right name. He was brought in for arraignment, and before anything was said, it was dismissed just like that. When Prabhupada heard of this situation of the Catskills bust, he was concerned for Mukunda. Prabhupada didn't have any judgment. There was no anger, just simply concerned that Mukunda was all right and that he had gotten things squared away. Prabhupada was like a father to us. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Last thing for today is Mahaprasadam prayers. And as I mentioned last week, once the Mahaprasadam prayers are recitation is done, one of the pujaris will be going to the altar. Prabhujis and Matajis can form separate lines so that Murlidhar Madhav Prabhu will be giving blessings of Narasimha Dev. Can someone sing Prasadam prayers, Arjun? Okay. You want to sing?
Mahaprasade Govinde, Na Brahmane Vaishnave, Sarpe Punyavatam Rajam, Vishashana Jayate, Sharira Mrityaja, Jo Andre Ata Hai Ka, Jibe Pele Vishaya Sagare, Dharmade Jivayati, Lobo Masudharmati, Take Jeta Katina Samsare, Krishna Bada Jayamai, Dari Bada Jiva Jai, Sa Prasadana Dilo Bhai, Shayana Vritapa, Radha Krishna Gunaga, Premi Dako Shri Chaitanya Nitai, Janimai Janitai, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Mahaprasadam ki.
want to stand?
I don't know. Namaho Vishnu